What's up, guys? It's me, Shane Guy. I know we haven't put out a lot of videos lately. There'll be a We Are Here vlog about that in a few days. But right now we wanted to focus on the day 0 of E3. In this video, we're going to talk about Xbox and what they've put forth this year. There'll also be videos for EA, Ubisoft, and Sony, but those will be in separate videos, so I'll probably link below. First, we wanted to talk about, I guess one of the biggest selling points they had this year was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which we already did know about in advance. I gotta say that we knew about it in advance. Xbox gets the big DLC and full packs and stuff first, but that should be coming out. Their huge selling point this year that they really wanted to try and hammer in was the new Assassin's Creed game. It's called Assassin's Creed Unity. It has 4-player co-op, takes place in France, and I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it takes place during the French Revolution, which is pretty interesting.
It looked pretty good with the co-op and everything, but that should be released eventually. They had gameplay of it and everything, so they already have some development done on it. A new Dragon Age game called Dragon Age Inquisition. The graphics look astounding. I actually am excited for it. I never could really get into the Dragon Age series, but it actually looks decent.
I played a little bit of Orange, and the series is supposed to be good.
And the good thing about all 3 of these games mentioned is they are not exclusive to the Xbox One. They will be ported, since they're third-party, over 2 different platforms. Now, another thing that's coming out that I'm really excited for is the creators of Limbo have created another game called Inside. It looks really good. It should be out in 2015. They had some gameplay of it as well. It looked pretty good, and it's an indie dev, so that's also interesting. A lot of different indie games that they've announced coming out. They weren't really specific on what indie games, but they did say there are a lot of indie games coming out for the Xbox One. There's something called Project Spark, which it's basically a completely user-generated dungeon hack-and-slash RPG. It looks pretty interesting. Right now, it's actually out for the PC for the open beta. However, you have to have Windows 8 to use it, which is very weird, and you have to use Internet Explorer to play it, and because of that, there's been an outrage. So hopefully, they realize that no one likes Windows 8, and no one likes Internet Explorer, and they should just port it over to Chrome and Windows 7. That's just me. There's a new game called Evolve coming out, which is going to the exclusive beta very soon. It looks very interesting.
From the makers of Left 4 Dead, so that'll be interesting. It's not Valve, but it's from the makers.
Yeah. And the new Tomb Raider coming out. The graphics look disgustingly beautiful.
When he says that, he means they look great.
I was blown away by the graphics. I've never seen a game with that power behind it. It was HD to like the next level. Now for the exclusive games, these are not going to be coming out for any other platforms that are announced anyway. These are only for the Xbox One. They have a new Forza game coming out, which actually looks pretty interesting. Forza Racing. They completely expanded on the past games. They've added a bunch of new cars, a bunch of new features to it. It sort of plays like not Hotline Miami, Burnout Paradise, and the way that it's sort of open world and stuff. And it looks interesting. There's a bunch of new dance games coming out for Kinect, but not a lot of people like the Kinect, so I don't know why they're trying to hammer that in. A new Disney Fantasia game. There's actually, the biggest thing for me, honestly, this year, a selling point to buy the Xbox One is the new Fable game. The new Fable game has 4-player co-op with different classes, and the game is centered around 4 players fighting the dungeon, and there's a new feature called Dungeon Master, I think it's called. Dungeon Master, where basically you have a bird's eye view of the entire field, and you can coordinate where enemies go, and you can maneuver traps and stuff. And it looks interesting. My only concern with this is that I'm afraid that it's going to take the Fable gameplay of an RPG and turn it into something that's a 4v1 gameplay. And I won't judge yet because it's not out yet. There was gameplay, though, although limited, so hopefully we'll see that soon.
And then another one that we both actually thought was pretty cool. It's a game called Sunset Overdrive.
That's actually a lot of people, that's basically their selling point for buying Xbox One. It's a very interesting game. It's 8-player co-op, actually. It should be coming out soon. A lot of humor in it. I thought it looked okay.
Same creators from the original Spyro, and I know a lot of people like that games.
Open world.
Yeah, open world, and really humorous. You should have saw the trailer they had. That was actually pretty funny.
There's a Heartthrob game coming out called Ori and the Blind Forest, which a lot of people are excited for.
I almost cried during the trailer.
The trailer is actually really sad. You can tell it's a game based on graphics and emotion rather than adventure and hack-slash action. But they announced that it's an indie game. It's a platformer, and the graphics are decent, and I think it looks okay. Now, the biggest thing Xbox, I have to say, probably wanted to say like that, is their biggest. You could tell they were excited about was announcing the Halo Master Chief Collection. Now, the Halo Master Chief Collection takes all the former Halo games, throws them together onto one game that you can buy for Xbox One. Comes with all the DLC, all the multiplayer, original multiplayer, and enhanced graphic modes. And it looks all right.
It takes all the campaigns from 1, 2, 3, and 4 and jams them together. Not including Reach and ODST, because Chief wasn't in those. But yeah.
That should be released on November 11th, they've already announced for that. So they already have that fully completed. And they also announced that Halo 5 is going into closed beta, this December. And they're already in production of Halo 6. So you can tell they really like Halo over at Microsoft.
Also, along with the Master Chief Collection, they took the Halo 2 multiplayer and remastered it. So you can play the Halo 2 multiplayer again with actual servers. And if you're like me, I like the Halo 2 multiplayer.
Now, there's a new game coming out called Scalebound, which we actually don't know a lot about. There was no actual gameplay presented. It was all CGI, and so we don't exactly know what the game and how it's going to play.
But isn't it by Platinum Games?
It is.
So that shows it might be good. Also, they're making a new game. If you are a Crackdown fan, they're supposed to be remaking a new one, so that's pretty interesting.
Overall, you could tell Xbox learned from their mistakes last year. They actually apologized at the very beginning of the press conference, saying that they were sorry for the horrible flop job that happened last year at E3. You can tell they finally started to move away from their hardware and saying, look at our Xbox One, and they finally started to realize that no one wants to buy a game console that has no games. So this year, we could tell, was all focused on the games. And I thought that they did an okay job. I think Sony completely blew them out of the water, but you can watch that in the other video we do for Sony. But that's about it for Xbox One. And Xbox and Microsoft in general. Check out the other videos. We'll probably have them linked below. And that's about it for E3 2014 for Microsoft.